And you join me again on the channel. Welcome back. And today we've got a Ford Ranger. It's a 2021 and it's the customer's complaining of intermittent power steering. So obviously this car's got electronic power steering. I've just done a health scan with the THINKSCAN and I'll show you the fault codes that we've got. So the THINKSCAN's just cut out on me there, so I'm going to need to restart the full process. That is because I didn't realise I haven't charged it. So we're going to go directly into enter here and hopefully it'll be able to find the vehicle fairly easily. You can see we've got it connected up there. We're using a little breakout box, little cheap one that we got online. You can see it's managed to find that we've got a Ford. So there is a bit of glare today. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. We're in East Kilbride, so you don't usually get weather like this. It's either snow or rain. So what I'm going to do is just go into automatically search, click OK. Don't know how well the glare. It's not very good. So it's managed to find the VIN. Obviously we're not connected to the network. Then we're just going to do a full health report. So let's see how quick it can do that. With it being obviously a nice day, the glare's going to be a lot worse. So we just need to deal with that, I'm afraid. So we're on 40% just now. 26 seconds, 29 seconds. So we have got multiple warnings on the dash. We've got pre-collision. Obviously the driver's door's open at the moment. Steering assist malfunction, so we've got quite a lot of stuff happening here. Hopefully, there we go. That's everything done now, 100%. So it's going to give us the fault codes that are present, and for that I'm going to try and get it out of the glare. So that's as good as I'm going to get. Okay, so we've got a UO131 lost communication with power steering control module. We have also got tyre pressure, TPMS, lost communication with power steering, lost communication with power steering again. So all our faults here, apart from we've got a DPF fault, but we are only here for the electronic power steering cutting out. So majority of the fault codes that are there, like I said, are lost communication with the power control, power steering control module. So I've never actually had a look at one of these before, but usually these belly pans are quite robust, so probably going to need to remove quite a lot of heavy bolts. So let's just have a little look. I've got my torch here. Alright, so we have got a little bit to remove, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to get you in there, but you're not even going to be able to see that, but the power steering control module is just basically behind that belly pan, I think. So let me get the belly pan off, we'll do the sort of test from there. I don't know if I'm going to get a diagram for this, something this new. I'll try HGS, but I don't think we'll have one. If not, I think we'll have one somewhere else that we can do the basic tests on. Obviously we're going to have a power ground in your CAN network, which is going to be the sort of main things there. So I've just drawn up the important parts of the diagram rather than having to power up the laptop and whatever. So you can see there we've got a 125 amp fuse which supplies the actual motor itself and the module, and we've also got a 10 amp fuse as well which supplies the module underneath the car. Now the other two wires that we've got there is our CAN network, which we will check, and we have got a ground. So that's basically it. There's nothing really fancy regarding the testing of this. What I'm going to do is just show you where the fuse is located, and we'll test that first. So if we come across here, you can see we've just got a little 5 amp bulb here. Obviously if you wanted to multiply it, etc., when testing heavier loads, then by all means do that. But if I just put that on a good earth and take these across here, you can see that we've got a 25 amp fuse. I was going to say 125 milliamp there for some reason. That used to doing battery drains. So we're just going to take another end of the lead there. I'm going to go across the fuse. That's if we've got a good earth. So try and put that in there. I'm being lazy rather than getting a crocodile clip. So you can see there our bulb lights up nice and bright. Go across the other end of the fuse, bulb lights up no problem as well. And if we also go to the back of the connector, bulb is nice and bright. So what I'm going to do is just perform the same test with the 2 pins at the motor, just to more or less prove that we have got a supply there. Now obviously it's a heavier gauge wire, so it's going to be able to carry that no problem. So if you wanted to, you know, add multiple bulbs, etc., to test it, you can do. But let me just get set up underneath the car, and yeah, we'll see where that test takes us.
I don't know how well you'll be able to see this, but that is a big plug there going onto the motor. What I'm going to do is just get my 2 test leads in there as best as I can, if I can. I might need to swap the actual test leads ourselves, but both of them are in there.
And you can see there our bulb lights up nice and bright. So now that we've confirmed that that is okay right there, that 125 amp circuit, we can then move on to the 10 amp side, and we've also concluded as well that this is good, that's a good ground. So we're going to move on to the 10 amp circuit, which is right here. So that should supply basically power through a 10 amp fuse on a, I think it's a brown and white. So I think it's a brown and white on one of the multi-plugs. So we need to load test that with the H7 bulb, and then we'll move on to the CAN network. We'll double check that as well. Some simple basic sort of testing going on, but like I says, it's good to cover it in case anybody else gets a fault like this and we actually manage to figure out what the fault is, hopefully. Because like you guys said, it is intermittent, it does happen on and off. It's happening just now, which is good. But yeah, let's stop rambling on, go underneath the car again, back probe that brown and white wire, and we'll see what the load test comes back with on the H7 bulb. Now we don't need the ignition on because it is a permanent feed. It's not an ignition feed. So if we go under here, hopefully you'll be able to see there. We've got a multi-plug connector there, a 3-pin, and the brown and white is the very first wire. So I'm going to try and get my back probe into there somehow. Ooh, it's quite tight under here. I don't know if that was a bit of dirt or corrosion that came out there, but it was quite manky. A wee bit of dust came out. Ugh. Right, so a bulb is under here, and by the looks of it, it isn't lit. So have we got a short? Have we got a blown fuse? And that's why, you know, have we got a short somewhere and it's blowing the fuse that's coming, that supplies that circuit, or have we just got a broken wire? So the fuse that supplies that feed going to the motor comes from F19, which is a 10 amp fuse. So we're going to go to the battery junction box, check F19, hopefully we've got a blown fuse. If we have got a blown fuse, then we're looking for a possible short, whether it's a short in the wiring loom or a short in the actual control unit itself. We don't know yet. Let's go and locate F19 and we'll take things from there. So we're just going across that fuse, as you can see there, and it's good. So that's passed the tests there, and what we're going to do is go underneath and double check that wire again, because it is an ignition feed. I don't know why I said it was a permanent feed. It is an ignition. So I've just connected our test lead back under there on the brown and white wire, and you can see that we've not got any light up at all, so it's quite possible that we're dealing with an open circuit. But what I'm going to do is just do a visual on all the plugs, because there was quite a bit of oil under here, and I just want to rule out any sort of contamination or anything like that, because I wiped all this with a rag. It was quite heavily saturated in engine oil. So I'm just going to remove my test lead there, and yeah, we're going to have a visual inspection. So I'm just going to take off the connector there, take off this one as well, just do a quick visual. Oh Jesus, the plugs are tight. So looking in there, that one looks pretty clean, doesn't look too bad. Oh, we've got corrosion in there. I don't know if you'll be able to see that on camera, hopefully. Hopefully you will. I'll try and bend the plug a little bit and zoom in. So you can see a green crusty right there, and that is on our brown and white. So that is going to be our issue, I think. I wonder if we test it at this end. Will it light up the bulb? Let me put in a test light again. So, test light is in. Is my bulb lit up? Not that I can see. Because of this magnetic base, it keeps connected to stuff. So my test light, or my bulb, isn't lighting up at the moment. I'll give that wee test lamp a little, test lead a little wiggle. No, there's definitely nothing there. So I might need to actually probe the wire just to make sure the fault isn't in the actual terminal itself because of the corrosion. So as you can see there, I'm just giving that terminal a little clean with my back probe that's in there now, and you can see that the actual bulb lights up intermittently. So that is going to be our fault, guys. The connection in there obviously isn't good due to the water ingress. Now the main problem is, if there's water ingress in there, there's going to be water ingress inside the module. So we've confirmed with that resistance, or that basically the corrosion causing a bad connection inside the plug. I've still to look inside to see the terminals, to see if maybe there's one rotted away because of the corrosion. But again, cleaning that probably isn't going to be enough, because if there's water in there, there's going to be water further in the actual module itself. So it looks like at the moment this is going to need a power steering control module. I don't know if that comes as part of a full rack. I don't imagine it would come separate, and I imagine it would be really expensive. So what I'm going to try and do is just give it a clean as best as I can, put a bit of protection on there, and yeah, see how we go for there. But I can't guarantee the customer that this is going to be a 100% fix, although we can try. If not, then he's going to need to get a new module fitted to it, and we're going to need to come back to program it. So let me get that plug disassembled, try and get it cleaned. So it's around 45 to 50 minutes later. Cleaning it did not work. I ended up, luckily enough, I had a couple of spare pins lying about in my van, and I've managed to take out the old one and put a brand new pin in it, and the power steering is working now, so thank God for that. It was an absolute nightmare for some reason. This little pin did not want to come out. As soon as you lifted the two tabs, tried to push it through, it just wouldn't move. I don't know if it was to do with the corrosion inside the actual plug as well, but I'll show you a close-up of this pin so you can see the amount of corrosion that's in there. That is why we didn't have any power steering, because this wire here, when it was connected into the power steering control module, it wasn't supplying that power. It was getting there, it just wasn't getting past that resistance inside that pin. So that was basically the cause of all our issues. I'll show you just now what we've got. I'll just turn these around and show you the THINKSCAN tool. We've still got the fault codes there. We're going to clear them all and see if any come back. So just turn the ignition on, and we're just going to clear the fault codes. Now beforehand these would come back straight away, and you can see there we've got no fault code at the minute, apart from TPMS. I dare say you can reset that through the display there, but what I'm going to do is just start it up wherever the button is. So it started it up, you can see the power steering is working again, so no need to dig out the scope or anything, check the network. It was just that power supply that wasn't getting to the destination. So that is us, guys. Let me know what you think of that repair. Obviously I'll leave a couple of pictures that I took on my phone, just showing what we actually done, and you'll see the picture that we put up. You can see the new pin in its place. So I'm pretty happy with that repair. Gets the customer back on the road safely. Going to get everything packed away here, get the under tray on, etc., and I'm going to leave that one here. Now the little THINKSCAN 689BT, I will leave an affiliate link in the description where you'll get a discount on that. So if you want to go and purchase one of them, or you just want to go and have a look, check the description of this video and everything will be there. So what I'm going to do is leave the video there, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.